Yep. Yo, we're back after the technical difficulties this morning. I think I sorted out the MacBook problems. Does it sound okay? Cool. I think we're good. There's no lag. Cool. So sorry for all the technical difficulties. Thank you guys for being patient with us. Eddie's right here with me.
Hello, chat.
We just ate some Mexican food and we're gonna look at some charts. All right, as I was saying this morning, I shared these key levels in Discord. As you guys know, I use these levels to trade a lot more than anything. And I have my whole, it's like an educational PDF breaking down how to use them and an indicator that's private to the community available in Discord. But yeah, I use these to frame my trades, look for rejections, targets, areas of chop when they're all stacked up. And we had this 22.52575 on NQ that we tapped into yesterday or today at open. And we rejected it pretty good, held this 4-hour FVG, and we're just in between this and my other key levels. So for now, still hands off. I didn't take any trades on NQ today. And then above that, I have 22.65450 that I'm targeting if we can break through it. But since we're between these two levels and just in this little range right here, I just haven't taken any trades. And on ES, same thing kind of. We made that 4-hour bullish imbalance yesterday, retested my 6117 key level, and we're just in between this and my other key level. So really not a trade area for me with my system, but watching those levels for reactions and reversals. Bitcoin. I talked about these two scenarios yesterday when we were streaming from the coffee shop. I said we could just break this 105.6, 106 area and continue straight up. Or I wanted to pull back down to OTE of this 1 hour, like 4-hour OTE range, which was like 102,000. They broke out of this flag to the upside, finally cleared that 106 level that we rejected so many times from. Like, after we broke through it this first time, we rejected it like 1, 2, 3, 4 times with these deviations every time. This time looks a little better, but still not completely out of the woods for me until we break back through this 109.3 area. ETH. It's a 4. No. Yeah. So our whole power of 3 that played out came back to daily discount at 21.31. Still holding nicely off this daily bullish imbalance that we created, but we're stuck in this bearish daily imbalance as well. So again, like, when you're caught between two FVGs, usually pretty choppy. And we're at that 200 EMA again.
That's what I was just about to say, is that we're at that 200 EMA, so just kind of watching things to break or see what they do from here. We also, some of the names that I'm watching are Maker and AVAX. So if you pull up Maker,
One sec. Like using the Coinbase charts. Okay.
yeah, so we tapped that 200 and now we're kind of pumping out of it. But if you look, we came into OTE of that range, of that bearish range.
This whole thing?
Yep. So that's my only concern there, the fact that we rejected that and rejected that daily fair value gap. But also at the bottom, you can see we swept the liquidity right there. That's right below the 200. That was
Yep.
right there. We swept that liquidity, right? And that technically came into the OT of that range. So it tapped the 786, tapped the 50% of that fair value gap, and now it's bumping back out of it. So it's kind of like that really large range held nicely, and now we have that bearish range that's rejecting. So it's kind of watching and seeing what they want to do from here. Yeah, because we have that imbalance right there too. So it's kind of like Shane said, probably just a choppy area
Between two daily FVGs, bullish and bearish, and
Yeah.
two OTEs, like middle of the range into the higher time frame opens, like we talked about before.
Considering it's also like the end of the month, coming towards the end of the month, we got 5 more days left in the month, so they can either keep it over here and then do a little power of 3 manipulation to the downside if we look to continue up, or manipulation to the upside a little bit more, take everything out deeper into that OTE and into that imbalance, and then take everything back down again. Just what they want to do on that next monthly candle. I think that all comes down to that. So it's just kind of watching and seeing how price reacts to these levels and what they want to do. You can certainly scalp on the lower time frames, like the 4-hour or the hourly. You can look at those time frames and see that you can just catch a couple quick moves here and there. But for the most part, I think if you're playing the daily, then it's just kind of it's a little tough, especially between those larger fair value gaps being in play. Similar thing on AVAX. It's kind of got a very similar look to Maker. Same thing. Retrace into the bearish OTE, retrace into the bullish OTE, and now it's just kind of holding between those two imbalances. I like the way that they cleared everything out right there on that daily, but for me, it's still just like I want it to go up, I want it to go down, so it's so undecided for me here.
Yep.
That I'm just kind of like I can see long positions, playing out, considering that we have our Mr. James win going short, and I can also see our shorts playing out just because of how or like what range we were in. So just want to see what we do from here and how they play it out, considering we also opened up this weekly pretty, not necessarily flat on the bottom, but they didn't sweep anything really. They did retrace into the 50% of those weeklies, those previous weekly candles, on some names. On some they didn't. So it's just watching and seeing what they do from here. Honestly, that's what I got on those.
Yep. It's like what I had drawn out on Uni. I shared this in Discord, but like we obviously went higher than the arrow I had drew, but like just still being in this OTE, not really out of the woods until we invalidate this OTE and like all these 4-hour bearish imbalances to the left, because this is why I suck at shorting too. Like they can drive this, sweep this into the 705, then come down. Like there's lots of ways they can take this into those new monthly opens. How many days are left?
5 days.
5 days. So yeah, just have these levels marked, at least on, like on your 4-hour or daily OTE ranges and imbalances, I'd say. And just, if you are scalping, take your profits, leave runners, if anything. But yeah, I wouldn't go swinging like far out, high leverage swings in the middle of the range here at all.
Yeah.
I do like, Bitcoin looks good. Still out of that little flag break, and just being above the 200 makes me less uneasy.
Yep.
ETH though is still sus. It's always sus until we clear this 200 and get out of here. And this daily imbalance, really, if we can close above that daily FVG on ETH, then I really do think we see this entire little power of 3 reversal off that OTE play out, which is crazy. Really crazy to see that whole squiggly line actually work out.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. They did that.
What are some of your other favorite cryptos?
INJ doesn't look bad. It did a similar thing with that retrace as well. It's got some blunt candles on the bottom, got some blunt candles on the top. So it's just kind of also, if it can get above that CISD and above that 200, then we can really see a nice run up on this one. I think that one's a solid one. I've been looking at all just the way it moves. So ALT, the way it moves, I'm really wanting that day to play out as a rising 3 to the upside.
Yep.
I think that would be best case scenario for us. If not, if they keep it below these levels, then obviously we don't get it. But that kind of looks okay. I don't like the fact that we swept the bottom of that candle and that we're just kind of, you know, not seeing a whole lot of movement from here. But, you know, gotta see what they do. Gotta see what they give us.
Let's see. I wanted to look at this one.
Yeah, what is Ergo doing?
I want to look at that clinker one. That's ridiculous. Almost took this outside candle out of this 4-hour FVG. You win some, you lose some. Not really lose, I didn't take it, but I wish I would have.
Yeah. Just kind of wait and see now here.
Yep.
Honestly. Seeing what they want to give us. But with all the news and all the bullshit that they're putting out, it's kind of
consistently
just like,
dropping.
Consistently. Oh, I thought that shit was.
No, it's just the preview.
Yeah. Tomorrow we got final GDP, quarter over quarter, and unemployment claims. So those could move the markets whichever way they want to do it. I don't know how crypto will react to it, but I think that, you know, either way it will get a move on some of those news depending on the actual equities markets.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, some names I want to short, some names I want long. It's kind of just like, you know, I see both cases.
Yep. It was nice pumps off the bottom if you caught them at the bottom, but the risk reward gets less and less. Nvidia had a crazy day. I posted this on my Twitter. I think I posted this chart like a couple days after this flag, or maybe the day after this flag breakout, with all these liquidities marked out, and it tore through all of them. Crazy.
It's question marks. Just getting spelled. It's crazy. Yeah, in terms of NQ,
let me pull it up.
I think realistically overnight they can probably just chop it around waiting on those big news to come in.
Yep.
And then we'll get a nice move during New York or right after those news drop. So just waiting to see what they want to do here as well. We are like pretty much into the like a bearish OTE of today's range that they got going on. So
like
just waiting
this high down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like on the hourly, I mean, we don't really have any imbalances to the downside, and that's similar with crypto. Like on those higher time frames, we don't necessarily have a lot of imbalances to the downside, especially if we're looking at those like 12 hours. It almost just does look like a retrace pullback into some of those OTEs, whatever gives us an OTE, whatever doesn't, right? But those retests of like the 200s and maybe some of those CISDs looks.
Yeah, you don't want to be longing into the 200 EMA or into like a daily CISD level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is the price action I like to trade like off these displacements, not this little tiny candle, little tiny chop all the way up like this. So I'm just staying on the 4-hour NNQ right now. Because it's still like not
Ave.
very clear to me.
Yeah, it was Ave. Like Ave actually.
Ave.
So if we look at Ave, it got the daily CISD.
Whoop, whoop. Daily?
Daily CISD.
Where'd you mark?
Your indicator marked it right there.
Oh, yeah. Boom. I see bearish.
Yeah. So it came back and retested that bearish CISD. I think on the 12-hour it was the bullish CISD that it got above, actually.
Yep.
And now it's like it's holding that 200, so this one doesn't look bad for the upside either, right? But it's just like some of these levels, the way that we are opening up on these dailies, like, yeah, they can pump them up, but it's not necessarily some of the setups that we like. We like to have a sweep of liquidity prior to anything. So it's like they swept the previous day high, right? Didn't retrace into the previous day low. Just kind of left that. Now today's opening up without sweeping previous day low, and we're just kind of
inside
going up. Yeah, going inside. So it's just watching that stuff and seeing, okay, how do they want to move this? What do they want to do from here? And really on the daily, yeah, it might look both ways. So that's why it's like, if you want to scalp this stuff by any means, you can drop down to the hourly, drop down to the 4-hour, and just kind of catch those quick moves. But just have to be very careful. It's like you have to sit at the chart and just stare at it.
Yep.
So it's like, could just sit here and wait for a nice long opportunity or short opportunity if they do something on the daily. But other than that, just kind of, if you're not comfortable like trading these ranges, then just sit on the sideline and wait for something to retrace into like a bigger OT like we did on those dailies, and we got some of those moves during our drive. That is all I have. Honestly, it's I don't have much else.
Yep.
Just honestly sitting here watching these previous day equal retests on some of these names. For like Jupiter, it's not wanting to get above it yet. Why is she? I want it to be FET. FET, similar setup that we reviewed on like AVAX and AVAX Maker and Aave. So just kind of those are the names that I saw the best retraces on. So it's kind of like, okay, well those look decently bullish still, considering that some of them are above that 200, like Maker and Aave are above the 200, and I believe AVAX is too. So just wanting to see how they play these ranges, see what they want to do. So it's like, either I'm going to be up tonight just looking at charts on my phone, looking at this stuff, or I'm just going to decide to go to bed and come back in the morning and see how they manipulated this during the overnight China session. China.
Yeah, I had this drawn out on FET, like just at least pulling back to this OTE.
Exactly.
But like Eddie said, we like our major liquidity sweeps, and we like our at least like a previous day low, previous day high to frame the trade off of. And a lot of these don't have that. And also, speaking of that, I'm still waiting on my Blowfin API access to go through. I messaged Nate, which should make it go through. Yeah, I submitted it. It's still in progress. But once I get that, I have the bulk of this bot fleshed out pretty good. And it's in a notify in Discord of like, I think all 473 perps. It'll scan through and notify when a previous day low or previous day high is swept. So that'll be super nice. Make our job easier too, for like scanning through the whole list of tickers, and just to let you guys know if a setup is going to develop.
And speaking of that, speaking of Bluefin and all of them, make sure you guys check them out. If you go to our website, www.papertraders.io, it's going to be the best way to stay updated with us and also just see what we're up to and the things that we have going on with the paper traders. If you check that link out, you got view past streams at the bottom of the page, so you can scroll down, check our track record on some of these streams that we've done, things that we've outlined, especially on crypto. We've done a lot of those. A lot of those have played out, especially with the like animals or things that Shane draws out with a squiggly line. Those go pretty hard. You can check out the link for Blowfin, so you can use that link that we have on our website to sign up for an account, and you will get a nice initial deposit bonus. You can also use the code HASTE or code Eddie, and you'll get a nice deposit bonus from that as well. So check them out. We love trading with them. No US or no VPN needed, so you can use it in US, and it's really nice. No complaints from them.
Never once.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, their app just keeps getting better and better for the phone too. They just keep pushing updates, and it just keeps becoming better and more usable on the fly, which I love, because I love trading off my phone for some reason.
Pretty much has a trading view integration for it.
Yep.
And now you are able, like with the latest update that they did, you are able to do you're able to place market orders straight on the actual chart, so you don't have to kind of wait around and see when it comes into your area and utilize everything, especially if you're trading on the software too, like on the web version.
Yep.
It's really smooth and clean.
Yep. And when we get back onto our streaming PCs, we will definitely get that video done, like the walkthrough of like funding quickly, how to transfer it between like the funding futures spot accounts on Blowfin itself, and then how the different ways that me and Eddie open orders, because our styles are a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So we can walk you guys through that, because I've been doing this for a long time and I always forget. It's kind of confusing and scary to some still, but a chart to chart.
Yeah.
Chart to chart, it's easy to trade. And the best part is, like, there's no, say you're gonna buy a prop firm account and it's whatever, how much is a Top Step account?
Like $150.
Like $150 to start, and the activation fee. If you just threw that in crypto and traded with $200-$300 on even a low leverage, just to multiply that amount by a couple, like, you don't have any rules. You can withdraw your money at any time. It takes like 5 seconds to transfer. It's just easy. There's nothing scary about it if you treat it with respect.
Yeah, and you're putting real money on it.
Yep, real money. It doesn't feel like, yeah, like sometimes a prop firm will feel like paper money still, when then you get to the fund and it just blow it immediately, and it's just feels different than that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can trade with $50 on Blowfin and still flip that into quite a decent bag if you like respect your rules and stay consistent.
Yeah, just like looking for quality setups, and that's where I would say, like, I've messed up in the past with that, where I'm like, you get too excited and too impulsive, and that also relates to like the post that you made earlier. I was like, dang, that's fucking true. It's like, if you're very impulsive, like in the markets, it's gonna treat you the same way. You're gonna get excited about, oh, price is going down, and you're gonna get the same swing when price is going down, or like price is going up. You're gonna be very excited if you're long. You're gonna be like, hell yeah. And if price is going down, then dude, you're gonna be fucking sad and upset in the same way, probably just as much, if not more. Just kind of like if you're treating your account with respect, it's gonna do the same for you.
Yep. And it may feel boring, but that's better than being up and down, happy one day, sad the next day. Like, you want it to be boring.
Yeah. I think I'll probably do it for me.
Yep, I think that does it for me too. Our friends where we're streaming from right now have the next couple days off, like their weekend started today. So we should be good to stream here from now on for the remainder of like our time here. Again, thank you so much for being patient and bearing with us. Trust me, we were stressed out too, but trying to enjoy our time here. And yeah, we'll try to get on again tomorrow. I don't see any reason why we won't be able to.
Yeah. Come hang out. Come check us out. Make sure you check out www.papertraders.io. As always, make sure you guys follow at the Paper Traders on Twitter. It's like, that's the best way to stay updated with us. Everything any updates that we're posting about these streams or anything else is going to be on there. once we get to 500 viewers on these streams, we're gonna do a little merch giveaway. If we get Shane to 3,000 followers, we're gonna do a nice little lifetime membership giveaway. And if we get my account to 1,000 followers, that's gonna be another lifetime membership giveaway to the Paper Trader. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you're hanging out, sharing, liking. You know, it supports us. These streams are absolutely free, cost you nothing. The only thing that costs us is some of our time, maybe a little bit of a headache dealing with some of the internet issues or whatnot. Technology being technology, I can't change that, but we're still showing up. We want to give you guys the value that we provide, even in the times that we can't necessarily do the best. We're still gonna put stuff out there and make sure that it's at least, you know, digestible quality kind of thing. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Make sure you're hanging out, sharing, liking. On that, that's it. That's it for me.
Peace.
Peace out.